how can you tell if numbers are just trying to validate a point of view or a narrative? And I would say the first indicator of a poll like that is when every data point in polling memo is favorable to one side, whether it's an agenda, a policy, or the sponsor of the poll. If every point in the polling memo is favorable to one side, that's a pretty good indicator that this is a poll geared toward validating a narrative.
Yeah, and within that, again, that dynamic of every single point sort of lines up. It ends up sounding like it's a press release more so than a survey analysis. And suddenly, here are the five things that are awesome about this, and there's nothing that can challenge that. And quite frankly, look, even the best arguments, there's something that can be said in terms of a
Mhm.
different direction. And here's the thing: members, elected officials, and their staffs, and the media know that's the case. Nothing is perfect, and so when they see something like that, naturally they take a view of it in terms of I know what's occurring here. I'm just being sold a point of
Mhm.
view and a narrative, as opposed to trying to get a real understanding of where the electorate's at. Now, having said that, part of the challenge is the PR firms sort of driving that, or the particular group driving that, don't want to interject what problems could exist. But
Mhm.
the bottom line is, to some degree, to get people to buy the veracity of the survey, there's got to be an understanding that there are balancing elements, although it can be balanced strongly in one direction.
Another indicator of a poll like this is if there are obvious numbers that are missing or hidden. So, for instance, if
Yeah.
the poll, like in the campaign context, makes a big deal about the negative brand image of the opponent, yet it doesn't mention the brand image of the candidate who's paying for the survey, that's a pretty good sign that the brand image of the candidate is probably not good because anytime there are numbers that are hidden or they're missing, that means that those numbers aren't good.
And again, this gets to the key point here in terms of when you are presenting information that in fact there's context to it. And so what you're defining is, yes, okay, so this person's fave on fave is particularly bad, but nothing else is mentioned. The challenge here is, okay, so that person isn't well liked, but what am I supposed to do with that as a standalone piece of information? Because again, particularly when you're looking at campaigns, there's a choice involved. And so, yes, you're saying that this person may be not exactly particularly well liked, but what about the other person as the context for that? And the electorate is smart enough to recognize that that's what's occurring.
People know when they're being spun.